And joining us right now, you want big? If this man were a piece of legislation, he would be a big, beautiful bill. Ransom Canyon on Netflix. My great friend Josh Duhamel.
Billy.
Big, beautiful bill.
Big, beautiful
Can a bill be both big?
Can it be both big and beautiful?
I think it can be big.
Some are saying it can't. But,
I think it can be beautiful.
Why not?
I was doing an event last night for Operation Smile. I was emceeing, and the big award winner for the visionary, Dr. Randy Sherman Visionary Award, went to Harrison Ford. And afterwards, I was like, wow, Randy Sherman was a hell of a doctor. That's a big award. It's also a beautiful award when you think of his... But can an award be both big and beautiful?
I guess we ask Harrison. Yeah. I think Harrison is a yes.
Oh, yeah. What's going on, big guy? Ask me anything. We've never had a live in-studio Ask Me Anything.
I mean, where do I begin? So many questions. First of all, is that hair real? Because it's beautiful. Talk about big, beautiful hair.
To which I always, people say that to me, and it's true. I'm thinking about it. Someone said it last night. I often get, wow, you get the greatest hair. And I don't want to, your therapist might say, just say thank you.
Yeah.
But what I always do is say, yeah, thanks, but God's fair. You can't have them all. You know what I mean? He's not giving you everything.
I don't know.
He might be giving you everything.
That's a pretty. Dude, I wish I had that. Look at this. It's pretty. That's getting back there, man.
The power alleys are coming in.
Yeah, they're coming in.
Nah, but the coverage on top is fantastic.
All right.
And you're tall. You're like 6'4".
I am in lifts.
You just did this before you got here. We did this story that Tinder has got this new platinum at the platinum level subscription. You can use a filter for height. So women can be like, if he's 5'8" or below, don't even bother taking me for coffee.
Yeah.
What do you think of? I mean, that's never going to affect you.
It just goes to, thank God I was never on any of those dating apps. That would have been, that is just a black hole.
Yeah. No, you would have been.
I mean, we could go on and on about that. I have friends who do it, and it's like, they can't seem to find the girl. It's like, that's because you have 7 other ones in your bin waiting. So you can never be like, oh, she's the one. No, she's good, but let me see what I got over here. And so, yeah, and you never really know what you're getting because people can put all the filters and they can apparently change their height.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want so that, you can portray yourself as one thing, but maybe it's, and so I don't know.
But if some of these apps are doing this thing at the highest levels of payment, you can now start putting together your Jessica Rabbit. You can say, okay, I don't want this, I don't want that. How do men respond to that? Okay, now you're shitting on the last group that is allowed to be openly discriminated against is short men, right? Other men make fun of them. Women are like, I don't think so. The short guys. Everybody and there's no retribution for ragging on short guys. Okay, so now how do men respond? Weight. How about a weight filter? I don't want anyone over the weight. And then what are we doing? Now we're in a slippery slope and we're putting together, I don't know.
Yeah, but rubber has to hit the road at some point. You got to meet the person, right? So how much can you pretend until you actually have to be like, sorry, gotcha.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm saying, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to rule anyone out but then how do you really get a good vibe? Thank God you're not on the apps. You're a married man.
I am a married man.
Did you ever
happily married man, yeah.
Did you think you'd get married again?
I thought I would. I think so.
Did you have all these guys, friends, be like, don't do it again, dude. Don't do it again. That's all I get.
I was out on the dating scene for a while there before I met Audra, and it's like I was a chimp in the zoo. I was raised in the zoo, and then they threw me out into the wild.
Oh, sounds fun.
And it's like I had no idea how to eat or operate in the wild.
The instinct is to eat too much.
I was a domesticated monkey, and then they threw me out into the wild, and I had to fend for myself. Thank God I found her.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she's a North Dakota gal. I mean, you're two North Dakotans.
Fargo, North Dakota. I met her in Los Angeles. She's a proud North Dakotan like me.
Wow. Did you meet at like a North Dakota club or something?
No, I actually had a barbecue at my house, so I knew who she was. She'd done really well in some pageants, and North Dakota's very proud of her. So I always support people from that state who are out there doing things. And we just started talking. And a friend of ours, Ryan Gutzmer, said, "You know this girl?" I said, "No, I don't." He goes, "You follow her on Instagram?" I was like, "Oh." And then we talked, and
and she knows you follow her. I mean, if Josh Duhamel's following you and you're a woman, you know it.
Yeah, but it was never, and the intention was never to creep in on her DMs or anything. It was just to.
We're a small, proud community.
Yeah, it's just there's only 7 of us from North Dakota, so we have to stick together.
Tom Brokaw.
South Dakota.
Oh shoot,
yeah.
My bad. Sorry.
Close enough.
Hey, you guys get paired up together all the time. It's not as bad as Korea. Okay, South and North, a
little different.
It's a bigger division.
A little different, there. Yeah. But yeah, we met in. So I invited her to a barbecue at my house, and with honestly no intention of anything other than just inviting her over. And then I see her, I'm like, oh my God, this girl's beautiful, and asked her out on a date. And 2 years later, here we are. Actually, there we were. Now we've been together for 6 years.
Wow.
I have a 16-month-old beautiful baby boy. Yeah. She's an incredible stepmother to my 11-year-old. So it's she's definitely a catch. That was in the
we're looking at
Florida
a beautiful
Keys,
photo here. Yeah.
At a place called Little Palm Island.
Wow.
Where I knew I was going to ask her to marry me, and I didn't quite know how I was going to do it. But that morning, I was walking through the gift shop, saw an empty wine bottle. I said, "Hey, can I have that? And do you have any stationery? And do you got any rings?" So I bought a ring from the gift shop, wrote a little note on the thing, burnt the edges like it'd been in there for 50 years, stuffed it in the bottle.
Oh, cue up the police here.
Went to the head concierge at the hotel, had her time it out so that we could, when we were walking down to dinner, I'd be like, "Oh, what's that bottle? A bottle washed ashore." And when I went to do it, the woman wasn't there yet to have it there, so I had to.
As an actor, it's timing.
And I had to stall her. So I said, "Let's play some cornhole." She's like, "I'm in heels on the sand. I'm not playing cornhole." So I picked them up, started doing it, and then sure enough, the lady comes out, walked over there, and she found. And
she got a message in a bottle.
She got a message in. How romantic is that?
That's really romantic.
That's.
And is this your boo? I mean, this is your boo.
Yeah, she's my boo.
She's your. We were talking about this before. What I love what you said was, and then I was talking to her and I asked her out. Mm-hmm. This is the problem with the dating apps that I have is we are and with technology in general, we're getting further. Pretty soon, 15-year-old boys are going to be dating AI, and there's going to be plenty to look at on screen, but there will never be any human contact between the two. And you asked this woman out. I mean, asking someone out is a rite of passage. It hurts. It's painful. It's cringy for a moment. What are they going to say? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's an epidemic of isolation and loneliness and depression. I don't know if you've seen this in the news. It's been in the news this last week about how, men especially are suffering from more isolation and depression and loneliness than they ever have. And I think it's because of this divide between actual connection. Everything is through an app or through a social media site or AI, whatever it is. There's less and less of it, and I think that might be part of it.
Do you think women are going to put up with this for a short period of time, which is like men are victims now? We've been isolated. We were discounted for years. We were told, you're no good. You're toxic in some ways and things, and now it's coming around for men again. Yeah. But I think women are going to tolerate it for a very short period of time. Okay, that's enough, boys.
That's enough.
You're back. We're now back to even. Everything's good. Don't ride this. And we boys will ride it as long as we can.
I think you're right, though.
I feel marginalized.
There is a resurgence, though. I think the guys are finally no, enough of that.
Yeah. And you got to give Trump credit this. I'm going to give Trump credit on this. He's the one who hit reset. Now, is he a perfect character? Absolutely not. But he hit reset on that, and it took a giant gorilla or bully to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot to stand up to. They thought they had it forever.
Yeah.
And he did it. I'm just going to say it.
I don't disagree with that. I think that, I love the fact, I mean, there's always room to grow. We're not perfect beings by any means. And, I think that maybe if there's a silver lining to all that stuff is that we have probably grown a little bit, but we're still men. We still need to be proud and unapologetic about being a man. I think that that's okay. And there's a lot of guys out there that are sort of standing up against it, and I love it. I think it's good, and I think that you can be a strong man, a good father, a pillar of the community, all these things, and still be, compassionate towards what some of the things that we're sort of accused of being in earlier generations.
There's a book I read 20 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, called Tender Warrior. And I think it sort of encapsulates what a man should be, right? Tender, compassionate, but a warrior, man.
Yeah.
And don't minimize men. You're never going to see the Bushman. I said, you'll never see me in a Baby Bjorn or a minivan. You're never going to, I'm not the guy that's the guy that gave up.
Hey, minivans are pretty good, though.
No,
I do like a minivan.
They're very functional, but I can't be driving one.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Unless I'm wearing a mustache and goggles.
You know what? Also, Billy, I think that women want a strong man.
Yes.
They say that they need you to, but we're sort of biologically we're good at certain things. Women are good at certain things, and it's okay to.
We're different. That's the thing. People were starting to merge the lines, blur the lines between. We're very different, and those differences make us what society's built on. Yeah. That's exactly what. And when I look at I watched some great footage of you in Minnesota, this cabin and this land. You but 26 acres of land in the middle of nowhere.
54 acres.
54 now. You've branched.
Well, I started with 26, and then the one next door to it went up for sale. Beautiful little red cabin on the water. Nothing fancy. Electricity, no water at the time, but it came with 26 acres on this beautiful lake.
Wow.
And I got it for $189,000.
Oh my God.
And it is my favorite
That's one
place
episode of Ransom Canyon.
It is
right there.
amazing. So yeah, I'm very, very lucky. We love it. It's been my passion project for years.
But you've got Kubotas, you've got all this
Bobcat.
like man. You got Bobcat, you've got whatever the John. You've got a lot of manly equipment up there, and you know how to operate it. I was very impressed.
I do. It is. It's been good for me because I spent, from my 20s to my 40s trying to make it in Hollywood. And I got away from what I grew up doing. And I never really had a chance. I never had a lake cabin or any kind of a ranch. I was always, by proxy close to that stuff through friends or family. But this has really forced me to become self-sustaining in a lot of ways, be able to fix things. I wasn't able to fix anything. When I first got this place, I couldn't do anything. And I still make more mistakes than I do right, but it's forcing me to be, handy. And I was never handy.
I got to tell you, I'm embarrassed to admit it, but it took getting divorced for me to figure out where the fuse box was. My ex-wife would be like, "Oh, the fuse is blown." She'd get down there with a flashlight and the whole thing, and I'd be like, "Is it fixed yet? Are we okay? Can I use the toaster?"
Yeah.
Well, I'm not handy. I got a guy for that. What's that song?
Listen, I'm the same way. Honestly, when I'm in Los Angeles, I don't even have a lawnmower. When I'm out there, I'm driving a tractor,
doing it
a
all.
skid steer. I've got.
That's why you're there.
Yeah, and I love it because it's almost like I switch modes. I go from work mode into like homesteader, and I love it because it really sort of reconnects me to the basic things that make me feel like I'm. Like I got a purpose,
If you are listening on TuneIn, that sultry voice, the beautiful, smooth, mellifluous pipes of Josh Duhamel.
Mellifluous.
You're saying, who is that? It's Josh Duhamel.
What
That's
does
who it is. I'm
mellifluous
reminding
mean?
Mellifluous. I think of a really mellifluous voice would be Jim Nantz.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's just mellifluous means just what it sounds like, smooth.
That's
flowing.
See, I knew I was going to learn something today.
A river of honey, just mellifluous. Yeah. So we could go very quietly and have a mellifluous discussion.
So real quick, before you jump to that, Do you? What? I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I like where you're going. I love this.
When you have your place in Maine,
Yes.
that you sort of get away from all the craziness of Hollywood, right?
Yes.
So
I recently quit television. I'm done
Right.
with extra, and I'm all in on hot mics.
Right.
We're building this platform. The community is coming together. It's starting to happen. I've finally found the courage, Josh, to say exactly what I think, what I feel in real time. Let it go, and it's so liberating. I can't go and read 15-second scripts about Lindsay Lohan's movie premiere last night. All due respect to what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's total freedom. Yeah. So I'll go to Maine and we'll do hot mics summer camp for 6 weeks.
So you got a little place set up out there then too?
12 miles off the coast of Maine on a little island. Yep, been going there since I was 12 years old.
Wow, that's amazing. Billy, I got to say I'm really proud of you, dude.
Thank you.
I saw you talking about this the other night on an interview you were doing, and on Jesse Waters.
Yeah.
And I texted you right away. I said, "Good for you, dude." I just have so much respect for guys who it's almost like you found your voice. You don't give
almost
two shits
lost
anymore.
Well, how about the irony? That's what I lost the voice. I lost the voice on one of those, although I wasn't really talking. But it's now like, what are you talking about? Yeah. It's the vehicle. It's like, and it's, oh my God.
I'm just really, really happy for you, man. This is really cool. I met Howie Mandel over here.
Howie Mandel is my landlord. And it's funny, Josh walked in and we sent, we can roll a little footage here of Josh going, he couldn't believe, what are these guys doing over here? And he met, Howie Mandel is in every piece of business.
Yeah, he's amazing, that dude.
He's crazy. He owns, well, he's my landlord, so he owns where we're sitting right now. But this team out here, he has a Twitch gaming team, and he's the owner. Like you could, you hear like LeBron James bought a pickleball team. He's the owner of this league where they game against each other, and they're working right now.
Yeah, this place is insane. For all of you watching or listening right now, so I walk into this place expecting I was going to go into some little room, we're going to do a podcast, and that'll be it. Well, I walk into this place, Howie Mandel is in the room next door. He's got all these crazy, it's like a giant playland. It's unbelievable.
He has cutouts of himself, masks, busts, like he has more shit that he has collected. I mean, I think his old perm was removed from his head, and it's somewhere. Oh, God, there he is. There's the landlord. Oh, God. Oh, no, he's gone off to get one of his trinkets.
So, you know how...
Here comes a free joke.
I worked with Howie way back in the day. There he is. So I worked with him on Las Vegas years ago. I wasn't sure if he was going to remember, but he did, thankfully.
In Vegas?
On Las Vegas, the show
when you did the show with Molly Sims and James Caan. And
Yeah. So he came on and did an episode with us, and that's when I first met him. So I'd been following him well before that too, but it was nice to run into him again. Josh,
I want to talk about, I've been devouring Ransom Canyon and a few other things, but I got a question about, this is a moment of true honesty here. It was hard, I got divorced in 2019. It was hard to move on because the way I was raised, old school, I don't know about you, but it was like it failed. Like I felt like I had failed. I'm like, I don't know if I'll be able to do it again because I did it. And that was it. And so now, that's it. And so there's guilt and shame that comes from just the way I was raised. Believe me, there's therapy on that thing. But did you ever think this is going to be hard to do? Any kind of like guilt. I didn't, my marriage didn't, the first one didn't make it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I grew up Catholic, like I'm guessing you did.
Well, no, just Protestant.
It's like Catholic guilt, I think, that I had, that I felt like
same
I failed.
Type of guilt, though.
It's the same kind of thing. And so it took me a while, thankfully, Ferg and I have a good relationship. She's a great mom.
That's great.
To our boy Axel. I think we co-parent very well together. We get along, and it's good. Thank God. And so she's been tremendous in that way. So yes, I did carry some guilt. You don't go into these things thinking you're
useless emotion, guilt, and I hate it. It's ruled in my life too much.
You don't go into it thinking it's going to fail.
Right.
And if it does, you got to have a little, You got to give yourself a little break. I think it's because you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back in the saddle. Are you going to get remarried? Are you dating anybody?
Yeah.
Am I getting into too many personal details?
No. I am. I'm dating. Yeah.
Okay.
We've been in it for 4.5 years, little on and off, but yeah. She's out there. Hey, babe, how you doing? You know I'm working on my stuff, right?
We got proof. Yeah. We got proof we're working.
So your wife is a lot younger than you. Mm-hmm. That's. Did you think any part like, oh God, they're gonna get But she seems. I watched you on camera together, and I'm like, no, she's probably older than him.
Yeah, she is. She's mature beyond her years. She's an incredible woman, and I wasn't looking to get married to somebody that young, honestly, because she's 21 years younger than me, and I was like, oh God, I'm that guy now. I'm that guy who. Yeah. But like we talked about before we started here today, it's like I don't give a shit what people think. I can't. If she's the one for me, she's like perfect for me because we come from the same sort of background. We understand her parents have a cabin 55 minutes from mine. Oh, wow. I didn't know that when I met her. So she understands how important that world is to me, how important it is to going back home. There's a lot of things. She's a great mom. She's a great wife. We complement each other. So it's like at a certain point, you can't worry about that stuff. You can't worry about what people think.
Right.
And I was a bit apprehensive about that until, I got to know her and I was like, well, this isn't even, and now it doesn't even, she likes to make fun of me for it. She likes to make fun of, as we get into our 50s, things happen that a 31-year-old doesn't understand.
Right.
Like getting up to pee 3 times a night.
Yeah. Oh, I hate a 3.
I was like, babe, what?
I text back and forth with Doc Rivers sometimes, who's a great friend. We play golf together, and Doc goes, he'll send like, hey, I had a 1 last night, which means he only got up to piss 1 time. This is like old guy humor, and I'm like, oh, Doc, that's a beautiful night. And you went right back to sleep. He said, yeah, right back is great. Yeah. I hate a 2. A 2 really throws you off. A 3 is, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's tough.
I had a buddy who doesn't suffer from any of this.
Right? I know people like that.
And he said every morning 7:30, I have a nice flow, a nice long piss, I have a nice healthy turd. Every morning 7:30, and then I said, wow, how do you do this? He's like, the problem is I don't wake up until 9.
I know where that's from.
That's an old joke I saw.
That's the greatest joke. No, that was told by Walter Matthau on Johnny Carson.
God damn it, you called me out.
I said, is he going down that road?
I was trying to sell that as my own joke, but you saw the same thing I did. Howie, how did I do?
Howie said he'll polish your delivery. No, it was perfect. Listen, you are starring in Ransom Canyon, which I have been devouring. I've completed episode 8. I've got 2 more, and I really want to take it slow. Like I'm so deeply invested. I hate Davis. I love Reed again. But you are co-starring with one of the great crushes of many men of all time, and that is Minka Kelly.
Yeah,
Minka Kelly. I mean, how many people do you think have her number
beautifully.
1?
She's not aging. She's a beautiful girl.
She's just forever gorgeous.
Inside and out. She's a very sweet girl too. She's super talented. It's nice to go to, especially when you're doing a series. A movie's one thing, but on a series you're there for 6 months, and you want your co-stars to just be no drama, and she's no drama, as is the rest of the cast. We have a really talented young group of people. None of them drink or party. They're excited to be there. There's never any drama, which is like.
So you drink alone?
I drink alone, but they show up and they're ready to go to work every day, and it's like they're excited about the show. They really we had this cowboy camp for the first 2 weeks before we started, just to get acclimated to the horses and roping and riding and wrangling cattle and all that kind of stuff. And they showed up excited to do it, zero attitude. April Blair does a great job sort of manning the ship.
That's
And I'm very proud of the
director,
show. I think the show turned out great. I think that it's
rich, it's sexy, it's beautifully shot. The budget is clearly there. It's Netflix money, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's got some Yellowstone vibe for sure, for obvious, but also some Friday Night Lights. I mean, it's that Texas community, Texas first, America second. I mean, Texans are real territorial.
Yeah.
The drama is heavy. The sex. There's a sex scene with you and Minka Kelly that was off the charts.
Oh, wow.
I texted you 2 words last night. What were they?
Tornado sex.
Tornado sex.
I was like, what is this? Oh, I know what that means. But did you see the scene with Jack, who plays Yancey, and Marianne Lee, who plays...
Oh, the sex. That was after
I forget
yours.
her name in the movie, in the show.
Also tornado sex.
No, that is borderline NC-17-ish. I was like, when I saw that, I was like, ooh, her husband's not going to be happy about that one.
No. But you're married to a younger woman. I would think older women would have more of an issue with it. Younger women are more evolved. They're like, oh my God, I love the way you kissed Minka Kelly.
She's not. Yeah, she doesn't love it. I mean, she's.
I was trying to help there.
Yeah, she's fine, but it's not her favorite thing. No, but I don't think anybody wants to see their significant other making out with some
Minka Kelly.
As I'm sure Dan Reynolds probably didn't like it either,
Oh,
but
the lead singer of Imagine Dragons.
So
That's her dude.
Dan came on set a bunch of times. Amazing dude also.
He's your size.
He might be bigger than me.
He's a big dude.
He looks like an athlete, though. That dude looks like a UFC fighter.
You think he could take you?
He'd kick my ass.
Really?
Yeah. I don't like to admit that, but he does. He practices Muay Thai, I think, or Jiu-Jitsu, one of the two. So he's like a serious...
I'll never
martial
forget
arts.
being in a hot yoga class with Josh Duhamel, our guest in studio today.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
I'm in a hot yoga class. There's this giant guy next to me, sweating like a buffalo, and this guy puts a cold towel on the mat next to me, and I'm like, oh, thanks, big guy. And I look over, I'm like, hey, my man. And everywhere I gotta say, for a big fella like you are, you're very flexible. You're lithe and
That's what they tell me, Billy.
Big dude. What's the feedback you're getting on Ransom Canyon? Because I'm a TV junkie.
Yep.
I watch everything. I love Ransom Canyon. It's
Thank you, dude.
really, really good. I suspect you'll be back for more.
I appreciate that very much. I do. The feedback's been great. Honestly, I've been doing this now for a long time. I think Howie can attest to that. He was there in the early days. Started on All My Children in 98 or something, 98. Wow. And this show I've never had this kind of feedback from a show. People that I wouldn't have expected to watch it or like it, people that probably see other things and don't say anything. It's just been a really positive response, which is good. It feels, you get a lot of wins, you get a lot of losses. You get some wins, you get a lot of losses in this town, and it feels good when people are responding the way they have to this.
When the metrics people at Netflix look at it, I bet it's an even split of women and men. I bet people are watching it together because women love it. I love it.
Yeah,
it's got a little of everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I appreciate that.
A lot of good fighting. A lot of good fucking, some fighting, all that stuff. You're wearing a hat. You put a hat on.
So I brought you a couple of these, actually.
Oh, good.
Let me throw it. There you go.
Oh, beautiful.
So this is
what is this?
This is Gatlin. This is the company that we started. We've been working on it for a few years. It's a telemedicine company. It's a men's health, wellness, and longevity company.
So we're talking, because I've been so interested in this stuff. Mm-hmm. This is like peptides, like hormone replacement.
Yeah, testosterone replacement therapy.
Even a little GLP-1 if you want.
GLP-1s. You can get ED medication if you want. So next time you get a Woody, you can think of me. Yeah. Billy?
I do usually anyway. It's usually how I get one.
But honestly, it was. I was pretty apprehensive about getting into this because I was like, do I really want to share my secrets of what things that I do to sort of stay healthy and active and try to stay as, young as I can for as long as I can? And I was like, why not? Because I think there's a lot of guys out there who, as they get to be of a certain age, you're 53, I'm 52, around your 40s, that testosterone starts to taper off. Yep. And, a lot of people don't, especially men, don't want to talk about this stuff. And I was like, why not? What I was apprehensive about at first, inversely, I was like, well, this is actually a really fun sort of obstacle to overcome, because if we can shine a light on this thing, and make it okay, and get guys talking about it, it's helped my life tremendously. It's changed my world, and I think that if we can be the ones to make it okay, then I want to be the guy to do it.
You know what? You just you need it done responsibly, because we all see the guy out there who's like, oh, and his like veins are popping out of his neck and his muscles are ripping, and he's 65, and you're like, okay, let's finesse this,
tone it back,
okay.
But you're right. What you do is you get your blood tested, you get your panels done. We have a team of doctors, a whole fleet of doctors who, it's just like any telemedicine, where you'll send it to us. We'll get your blood tested. We'll have you consult with our doctor, and we will administer whatever protocol based on what your blood panels were. And it's really
explosive,
starting to take off, which is fun.
I would imagine. Yeah, explosive. All right, did it get? Duhamel,
pump it up.
You are the greatest. I really appreciate you. It took 2 words, tornado sex, and he was here. It's an incredible guy.
It's like 3 minutes.
Okay, so the guys out, Howie Mandel's Twitch team, outside the door, they're twitching and gaming live. Your son Axel is into this gaming business.
Yeah.
All right, so we got to tell the Axe Man to hop on Twitch, because Dad's about to go peer into this team in their battle of whatever the hell they're playing. I only know Donkey Kong Jr. I don't know.
The amount of technology on that panel over there is unbelievable.
No, it's crazy. These guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Josh Duhamel, Ransom Canyon. If you have not seen Ransom Canyon, get going. It's a summer watch. It's sexy. It's delicious. It's Josh. It's Minka Kelly. It's just... Is that James Brolin that plays Cap, the old guy?
James Brolin, yeah.
Jimmy B, it's good to see him.
Yeah.
Double A, MCO.
Yes, sir.
The Amco man.